Hi everyone, I'm Sammy and today I'm going to show you how I made this funky new character out of 5 different stamps from the greeting farm. It's so much fun to mix these characters up with each other, and there's some more examples at the end. So I've gone ahead and stamped up the different parts of the images that I want to use, and as you can see I haven't stamped up the whole stamp, I've just used the different parts that I want because there's no point colouring it when I'm not going to use it. And this is in speed because the video is not about how to colour but how to combine the images. Okay, so once it's all coloured, it's time to fussy cut around the different parts of the images that you want to use. So here we're just cutting out the coffee cup and cutting around Creeper Monday. Now I'm using nail scissors, they're slightly curved and I find that it helps to get those curves cut easily. Now I've cut off the bottom of Creeper Sadie's hair because she's going to have Cheeky Geeky's pigtail. There's Oliver's hat getting cut out and stuck on. Now I accidentally cut off part of Sadie's pigtail when I was cutting her out and I realised that her arm was in the way, so I'm just going to show you how to remove that. So stamp onto her and then using a wet tissue or a wet one or something like that, you need to wipe away the ink just on the area that you're not going to stamp. I didn't have to do this last time because I used such a pale ink that I could colour over the line and you couldn't even tell it was there. But here we go, just wiping off that ink that I don't want on. And then when I stamp it, you can see that I've actually wiped away some of the lines that I do still want. So I'm just going to go in and draw those back in with a really fine multi-liner. And the lines are there really faintly, so I can see where they were. I just have to trace over them so that they show up when I colour it in. And the thing with the pale ink that I used before in my first card was that I could colour over that arm and you couldn't tell that the line was there once I'd coloured it. But it's really hard to see that pale line, so I thought it would be easier to use the video showing you with the dark line. And it's also harder to colour the image with the pale line, so this was quicker. Now I'm just going to go ahead and finish colouring her up. And then carefully cut her out, and it's really fiddly here because I'm cutting just the glasses and cutting the eyes out of it. And as you can see when I'm cutting it, I actually cut the top line off the glasses, but it's not too much of a worry as I'm going to be gluing it on top. I just have to take care when I glue it down as it's a bit fiddlier than when it was the one full image. Okay, so then on a new piece of paper I'm going to glue it all down on top of each other. Now on a new piece of paper using this Express IT glue marker, I'm going to glue them all down, starting with Monday and her feet because she's going to be right at the bottom. I just put that down towards the bottom of the page, and then it's a good idea to check exactly where the next piece is going before she goes on, but it's pretty simple because all the images are fairly mix-matchable. That's not really a word, but it sounds good. So just popping that on top. And then the next thing that I need is Cheeky Geeky's pigtails because that's the rest of the face. And their chin should be able to line up easily, so I'm just gluing that up and then I'll place it on top. And it can be a little bit fiddly just making sure it's exactly right, but the glue's a little forgiving. You can push it around a bit before it'll dry. Just be careful not to spread glue all outside the image. And then I've got to pop on that last bit of the glasses that I cut off. And look, you could use tweezers or something, but I just get messy. That's how it goes. So then the next two pieces are quite easy to pop on, just the hat and then the coffee cup, and she's done. So I thought it would be fun at the end just to show you some more options, and so I've stamped off a ton of different Ians and Anyas, and I've cut them out and then I've chopped off their heads because that's the best way to fiddle around and see what works well together. See, that one works brilliantly because the jacket looks like it actually attaches to the hoodie, so I'm going to use him together. And then basically I just swap bodies and heads until I'm happy with one, and then I'll decide to stick it down. So I think he looks pretty cool with that jacket, and it's cool mixing the different size heads and bodies around because even though they look a little funny when you're used to seeing them a different size, they're kind of cute, and it's so much fun to just play around, and there's like a million different ways you can use those stamps that you've got, and you actually end up wanting more of the stamps so that you can make more combinations, and yeah, it's pretty fun. Couldn't let Ian have all the fun here, so I stamped up some of the girls as well, and I'll just show you those before we go. I haven't cut them all out fussy cut yet, because sometimes I don't cut it out until I work out exactly what I want to use with what. And so here I've got one body cut out, but then I'll put that on the different heads to see which one I think it looks best with. And there you go. Thanks for watching and happy body swapping. See you later.